TECSYS is a supply chain management software company that focuses in the agile and rapidly changing supply chain market. Typically, our clients are clients that have a demand for lot traceability, serial traceability, a lot of audit demands, but they're in a rapidly changing market. So it may be wine and spirits distributors or parts distributors, but the lion's share of our market at this point is the healthcare market, which is a rapidly evolving market facing a lot of challenges from both the regulatory side and the business side. And so we are 350 employees based in Montreal, and about 70% of our revenue coming out of the US market at this point. The growth drivers in our history have evolved over time. In the 90s, we were all about suppliers to Walmart and the rapidly changing demands of Walmart. As we reached the end of the 90s, it was the dot-com segment. And as we entered the new millennium, the focus shifted very much to certain verticals, and healthcare emerged as the winner in terms of being the largest single market that we pursue. The drivers in the healthcare market have been the shifting revenue model in the US market, as insurance companies and the government have focused much more on paying for results rather than paying for services, and have brought down what they're willing to pay for those services. And at the same time, the government has introduced regulatory demands for track and trace around drugs and narcotics, as well as implantables. And the regulatory changes and the business changes have been the key growth drivers for us really for the last 7 or 8 years. The competitive advantages that we have built our business around in the last few years have varied depending on the market we're in. If you look across the entire market, whether it's complex supply chain or healthcare, it's been the flexibility of our solution and our ability to adapt our applications quickly to the needs of the marketplace. We are far more flexible and adaptable and supply chain focused than any of the big players that are out in the market. Specifically in healthcare, we are the only solution that spans the entire hospital network, from demand planning and focus forecasting all the way through to literally the drivers, the basement of the hospital, the nursing station, the cath lab, the operating room, and now the hospital pharmacy. So we cover the hospital supply chain from end to end in real time, and we're the only player in the market that does that. Our challenge in the last year or so has really been the growth coming from the healthcare market. If I look at our last 3 years of business, we've gone from 11 million in revenue in healthcare to 22 million, and then in the most recent year to 33 million. So it's been fairly rapid growth, specifically inside the healthcare market. That has created demand for us to grow a much deeper bench of expertise, both on the sales and marketing and R&D side, as well as on the implementation side with our consultants to help our hospital clients implement the software. That need to grow the expertise that rapidly has been a challenge. We have focused on modularizing the software so that our new people don't really need to learn the entire suite. We can bring on a new consultant and thoroughly train them in the operating room solution, for instance, and get them out and get them busy helping our clients. Over time, as they have bench time and downtime, they can spend some time learning the rest of the suite. To position the company for growth is all about, in our space, it seems to be all about having the right solution to the right problem at the right time. And at this point, the company is over 30 years old, and we have never been in a position that it is as good a position as we are today. The company is sitting on a market opportunity that runs into the billions. We are the leader in the healthcare space in the US market. We are considered the dominant provider of supply chain solutions to the hospital market. And so that has been the focus, that's been the positioning, and I think that's positioned us for growth. If you look at what should investors be looking for, really, it's that healthcare number. The top line overall number for the company is, has been running in the sort of 10 to 15% growth range, kind of. Most recent years a little quicker. But it's the inside number there, that healthcare number, the 11, 22, 33 million number, that I think investors should be keeping an eye on, because that's driving the growth and the value of the business. We were, back in the 90s, we were We had some private equity involvement. We had some great private equity partners, but we often ran into a challenge with the timing of when different investors wanted to come and wanted to go. It was always sort of a major upset as one equity partner entered and another one exited. We've been publicly listed since 1998. We've been through a number of market cycles in all that time, but it has allowed investors to come into our investor base, be with us as long as what we were doing and our focus sort of matched their requirements of their particular fund they were managing. And when it came time to wind up the fund or move on and do other things, they were able to just sell their shares on the open market. So we just found it's a very flexible vehicle. We found the overhead is quite low, frankly, and at this point we're very comfortable with being a publicly traded company in Canada, and the TSX has been very supportive of that.